introducing his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of San Diego, California, Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. Vanessa, Ariani, Brittany, our entire crew here in Baltimore, Maryland for the very first time. Phil Davis, Anthony Johnson, here we go. The familiar pink trunks for Phil Davis, white trunks for Rumble Anthony Johnson.
I can't believe how big Rumble is. It's crazy looking at him here.
To think he once was a welterweight fighter.
And the big question is, how will Phil Davis deal with the power of Rumble Johnson? We said that Phil has improved and tightened up his striking, but what he hasn't demonstrated is the kind of power that Rumble has shown from the jump.
So far, Phil circling away from the big right hand of Rumble Johnson.
And also using straight kicks, which he likes to use to keep guys off him.
Johnson is one of the strongest fighters in any weight division, Joe. One of the strongest fighters in mixed martial arts today.
And Johnson, no slouch as a wrestler either. He might not have the credentials that Phil Davis has, but he was a junior college national champion himself.
Had a 104-match win streak in high school.
He nailed Davis with that uppercut.
Phil's got to be careful
again.
Looking for that shot, Joe. He gets caught.
He dropped down.
Good takedown defense.
Oh, good right hand there by Davis. Rumble can't get too impatient.
Davis, 2-time Big Ten champion, 2-time national finalist, 4-time All-American.
Hard kick there by Rumble.
Phil was very clear in talking about this fight that he wants to use his wrestling, and he wants to set it up with his hands. Rumble working his striking with Henry Hooft at the Black Zillions. After what Rashad Evans said, a slow start for our team. We're starting to find our way and get it in the right gear. 3-round fight, co-main event.
So far, Johnson looks very relaxed in his UFC debut, very patient, hit him with a nice uppercut again. Davis got to be real careful because Rumble's slipping that uppercut in underneath the arms of Davis as he goes in for the takedown.
Johnson in the UFC for the first time in about 28 months. And the first time at 205 pounds.
And Johnson looking very relaxed here. This is a big fight for him, coming back to the UFC. Oh, and he caught him over the top with that right hand. And another
nice quick uppercut.
Those uppercuts are nasty.
Yeah, you can see the expression on Phil's face.
But Davis gets a hold of him here. Let's see if Johnson can spin out. He does.
Careful here.
Davis is in
big
real
shots
trouble.
by Rumble.
Davis is busted up.
He is big time. Johnson damaging the left eye of Phil Davis with some vicious shots while Davis was down.
Davis is in a lot of trouble here, Mike, and he has not been able to do anything with the grappling of Anthony Rumble Johnson. Good kick by Johnson and spins out of the takedown attempt.
Anthony's punishing Phil Davis every time he looks for the takedown.
He looks like a killer in there tonight.
There's even blood on the left shin of Anthony Johnson.
Hard
from the
kick
face
there
of Davis.
by Johnson.
Big start for Rumble, who said very candidly he wants to show everybody that the 6-fight win streak outside of the UFC wasn't a fluke.
Well, he looks so patient and relaxed in there as well. Very composed. Especially considering that he's taking on a guy in Phil Davis, who's one of the highest-ranked guys in this division.
He was 7-4 in the UFC with 6 knockouts from 2007 to 2012.
Rumble very, very calm here. And look at the improved conditioning of Rumble. And I think you could probably attribute that to the fact that he's not starving himself to get down to 170 pounds. Finally fighting at his natural weight, he looks great.
And not just that, Joe, but being able, I was talking to Rashad Evans last night, being able to train at 100% instead of cutting weight a month early.
Exactly. And you know, he owned his mistakes too.
For sure.
Oh, he had a big
shot
left and a right. I mean, he said, I was a dumb kid, and I learned, and I grew. Hard jab again by Johnson. He is busting Phil Davis
lopsided
up.
round one for Rumble.
About as lopsided as we've ever seen Phil Davis in a fight.
Johnson has stopped all 3 of Phil Davis's takedown attempts thus far in the fight.
And calm and relaxed and composed for the entire round. Look at him, he's going back to his corner, barely breathing heavy.
Pretty good way to return.
Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Chair's right behind you. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Hey, we need to push him back. I need the punches straight down the middle. You got it. Down the middle. Deep breath. Take some water. He's going hard on that first defense on the takedown. Shot, reshot. Hey.
Eric Del Fiore talking to Phil Davis.
Right back up, we throw something. In and out, don't stand up.
Here we see Rumble with a nasty uppercut. And Phil Davis took that one clean. And here's another one. Missed that one. Comes over the top. Davis trying very hard for the takedown. Stuffed it.
And then some big shots when he was on the ground. So these two men are ready to continue this battle as we get set for the start of round number 2. Round 2, Johnson and Davis. You heard Eric Del Fiore talking in the corner of Phil Davis. And you almost get the feeling, Joe, that if Phil can't get this to the mat, he's in big trouble.
He looks like he's in big trouble already. He's got to figure out something that he can do to Rumble Johnson. Whether it's take him down, kick him. There's an inside leg kick.
You know, it's one thing our matchmaker, longtime matchmaker, the best in the business, Joe Silva, says, make people pay when they go for takedowns. And that's what Johnson did in round 1.
Well, the difference in power is pretty substantial. I mean, Davis is a good striker, but he's never been a one-punch knockout guy. Rumble Johnson's a murderer.
And he stopped all 3 of the takedown attempts from the former national champion.
Davis is also hesitating with his strikes where he's not covering enough distance. It's like he's anticipating the return fire, so he's pulling back on the shots before they even get there.
And he needs those strikes to set up a potential takedown.
Even when he's throwing these kicks, you see how he's throwing them? I mean, he's anticipating see how he's pulling back immediately? He's anticipating that. Whereas Rumble Johnson is able to relax. But it doesn't mean that Phil can't catch him.
Absolutely
not. If Rumble gets a little bit too lackadaisical or too overconfident, he could easily run into something.
Rumble looks really, really relaxed. Little lefty-righty, back and forth from the orthodox to the southpaw stance. Head kick!
Davis is moving away from that. But man, if Rumble catches you clean.
Rumble has scored 2 head kick knockouts in his UFC career.
Just stuffing these takedowns like it's nothing.
That's the big storyline right there. Junior college national champion, but we also go to that term MMA wrestling, like a Rashad Evans who's excellent at it. Again with the uppercut.
And Rashad out-wrestled Phil Davis in their bout as well.
Yes.
With Rumble training with Rashad on a daily basis, that had to give him confidence. Another high kick. Even catching those on the gloves is brutal.
Nice
good angles. Yeah, beautiful angle there by Johnson.
The former light heavyweight champion, Rashad Evans, very close to Anthony Johnson. They have a great relationship, and he was very active in helping Anthony get prepared for tonight's return.
Yeah, he's very, very high on this kid. He couldn't praise him enough when I was talking to him about it. He's like, this guy, I couldn't believe that he fought at 170 because he's kicking my ass every day in the gym.
Defensive angles for Johnson, counter striking. And again with that nice jab.
Beautiful, stiff jab.
And you see Davis, like you said, Joe, kind of short-arming it just a little bit.
Yeah, he's been hit hard so many times. It's hard to commit when you got a guy waiting to take your head off.
Phil throwing those kicks
punches.
now. Rumble does it after the combo jump.
I think the kicks are probably his best bet, especially long straight kicks to keep the guy off him. I mean, he's got to figure out something that he can do to be successful, because at this point he's just getting stalked.
Oh, another big shot.
Another one.
That counter uppercut is dynamic for Rumble Johnson.
And he hit him with a beautiful front kick to the body there. Oh, he's just disdain. And that's where he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful he doesn't get overconfident and run into something.
Southpaw stance.
He's got to still keep what he's doing, but respect the ability of Phil Davis.
Watch for the kick to the body.
There's a big sprawl. Wow. Takedown defense is outstanding.
Against the national champion.
And look at his conditioning. I mean, at 170, he would be tired heading into the second and third rounds. We saw that in the Koscheck fight. But here at 205, he looks great.
Phil Davis said very succinctly, I want to wrestle. He hasn't been able to do so. Johnson has stuffed all 5 takedown attempts so far in this fight. Final 15 seconds of the second. Rumble looks great.
Switch kicks coming.
Final seconds.
Why you don't use your kick? Hey, no, not like dude. Why you don't listen?
Yeah.
Listen, then. Why you don't listen? You punch everything good. Just 5 minutes. Your cardio is like sick, but you need to use your kicks. Hey, listen. You need to use your kicks. Yeah, you understand that? He's dead. After 2.5 minutes, he's so tired. Nothing's going to happen anymore. This guy must go out of there. This guy must get out of there.
He's backing up. Straight right to the body. Straight down. Got it. We need to finish this round. You got it. All right, deep breath. Another deep breath. Take some water. Deep breath. Hey, just light on your feet. In and out, in and out. 2 under. We got to chase it hard on those body locks. We got to push. Let's go.
Third round.
Very interesting and very telling. The corner of Phil Davis saying he needs to finish, but not giving him any ways or paths to do so. They don't have any answers.
I wonder what the great K.O. Sanderson would say, now the head coach at Penn State. The Iowa State Cyclone and perhaps the greatest amateur wrestler of all time.
Right hand to the body by Rumble, and that's what Rashad Evans was calling for in the corner. He was saying hit him with that straight right to the body. And Henry who's saying your cardio is sick. And it is. It's about as good as Rumble's cardio's ever looked in the octagon.
Well, in listening to him in all of the pre-fight interviews, you can see the maturation process hitting high gear
And
for
again,
Anthony Johnson.
And, you know, a big point of it was the fact that he admitted what was wrong was him.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he didn't make any excuses. He said, I was dumb.
Stubborn. And now he's where he needs to be. Which, oh, by the way, is the same weight class as his buddy Rashad. Big swing with the right. Man.
Beautiful takedown defense. I mean, just outstanding takedown defense.
He swings with one thing in mind, destruction.
But technically, you know, he's moving right, constant head movement. Look at
Right
that.
there.
Beautiful, relaxed head movement in there.
And Henry Hooft wants some more kicks. That one from Davis.
You got to be careful of those. Davis still has some pop.
Phil looking for his first completed takedown. Doesn't look like he'll get it. They battle in the clinch.
And Phil's going to probably try to drop down for the legs if Anthony breaks loose of the clinch. Oh, man.
Three minutes remain in the fight.
Hard leg kick by Johnson. Oh!
I mean, look how solid Anthony Johnson is.
This takedown defense is just ridiculous.
7 for 7.
And that has got to be really disheartening for Phil Davis.
Our stats tonight, powered by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. Again, left to right with the stance. Southpaw to orthodox. Watch for the body kick with Rumble in this southpaw stance. He switches back, Joe.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to set up a kick, too. His back heel was coming off the ground. There's the oblique kick to the body. He went right to the body with that kick.
Phil's trying to get in there. 2 minutes remain.
So few punches have landed by Davis. It's quite amazing. Ducked under that kick quite easily.
Significant strikes landed for Davis, just 16. Great.
Look at this.
Defense by Johnson.
Oh,
whoa,
man.
Just missed.
He is just working Phil Davis. Hard jab. A minute and a half to go, and I don't think we've ever seen Phil Davis get dominated like this. Phil's looking for the single here.
Johnson with a great percentage of strikes landing. And the other part of a great boxer is making your opponent miss, and he's doing that too.
Amazing.
8 for 8.
I mean, we are witnessing the rebirth of Anthony Rumble Johnson.
This is a huge statement that he is making in his comeback to the UFC after 2 years and 3 months.
You know, props to Phil Davis because he has not gone into a defensive shell. He's trying to find a way to win. He just lacks the striking tools to do so. He just doesn't have the firepower. If you can't take Rumble down, you're in for a long night.
And like you said in the fight with his teammate Rashad Evans, he had the same problem.
Exactly. And now Rumble's swinging at him.
Question is, how high does he skyrocket in the rankings?
And Rumble holding up. Look at this. Elbows to the head by Davis. Davis looking for the Kimura.
Final seconds of the fight. They go the distance. Welcome back, Anthony Johnson.
Welcome back in a big way. Anthony Johnson just became one of the biggest contenders in the light heavyweight division. Just like that. I mean, Phil Davis is one of the top-ranked guys, and Anthony just worked him for 3 rounds. Not only did he beat him virtually every minute of the round. Every exchange, he came out on top. I mean, incredible performance by Rumble Johnson.
Vicious striking, especially the uppercuts of Johnson.
Just incredible.